Hello, 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 hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Mirror Talk Day. Come on in, guys. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Grab your drink and have a seat because this conversation is about to get deep. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Let's go. Let's get it. Y'all like my shirt? Come on. We match your energies around here today. That's how we doing. We match your energies all day long. You know, support the merch. Check out certifiedambi.com. Come on. Put your order in. Let's get it. Waiting on my girl Ashley. She's coming in. Come on, Ash. Let's go. Give us a moment, y'all. Give her a second. Let her pull on up because we about to get started on part 2. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Come on, y'all. She's coming. She's coming. Just give it a second. She coming on in. Come on, Ash. Let's get to it. It's Mirror Talk Sunday. And I hope that you guys have been enjoying these conversations. Not even enjoying, but have been enlightened by these conversations that we've been having. You know, I know the conversations are deep, but I feel like they're so informative and so beneficial, and everyone can learn something from just all the stuff that we've been talking about. So I really hope that this is something that is enlightening to you guys. And you know, like I said, come on, Miss Ashley. Let's go. Hold on, you guys. She's coming. She's requesting. Come on, y'all. On the end. The last one. No. Other way. We have it, yep. We have a few technical difficulties. Hold on, y'all. She's coming. Just bear with us a moment. Come on, come on, come on. Give us a second here, y'all. See, it's a delay because we know it's going to be a good show. That's why. So hold on. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. I'm going to give y'all a minute while we're waiting on my girl to come on in. Because this is going to be good. Come on. Ash, I sent you a request. I'm not sure what's going on. Check your request to see if it's allowing you to join. Yeah, send another request. I'm not sure what's going on. Sorry, y'all. Bear with us. But that's how you know it's going to be a good show. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Give us a moment while we get situated. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, try and hit it again to see if that works.
Go off and go back on.
No. Send another request, Ash, and see if that comes through.
She is requesting.
Okay. Thank you, Winnie. Yeah, I'm not seeing her request pop up. I saw when she first requested, but now it won't let me add her. Sorry, y'all. Excuse the technical difficulties. But stay tuned. Stay tuned, okay?
You go off and go back on.
We might need to do a quick break and end this live and restart it again. So I apologize, you guys. But I think that's what we're going to do. I'm going to end this, but stay tuned because I'm coming right back on. So we're going to end it and we're going to come back on so that we can get her on the screen with us and then we'll get this started. Okay? Give me a second.
Right. But yeah, how you?
I just want to thank you again for coming back on.
Absolutely.
To do a continuation of what we started last week.
Right.
I've gotten so much feedback, positive feedback at that, and so many people telling me that they're just so proud of you. You so real. They congratulate you. Like, you know what? Kudos to you. Like, hats off to you. Like, you really did it. The fact that you went through so much, and we didn't even hear the full story. That's why we got to a part 2. We had to do a part 2. So, I'm going to turn the floor over to you because I know that we left off with just going over with your parents passing or your mom passing. We went over, we ended the story right there. Right. So wherever you feel like you want to pick up and continue that story, the floor is yours, honey.
Ready, girly. So I'm going to just get right into it because I don't know how to sugarcoat it. The floor is yours. So when my mom passed away, my grandmother thought it would be an amazing idea to move to California. Someone presented an opportunity that she felt was best for me, her, and my sister. So it's a train that goes from like Chicago to California. It's called the California Zephyr. Yep. So we rode the train. It took like 2 or 3 days. So we rode across country. It was beautiful. And when I got to California, my sister was there, Winnie. So that was the first time we got to live together since my mom had passed away. And
So how much time difference was it from when your grandma came and got you and when you and Winnie were separated?
So when my mom went into the hospital, remember I said I was the only one living with her. So I was actually living with my mom up until she got hospitalized, which is when my grandmother came and got me. So my grandmother came and got me, and maybe my mom died like 6 months later. So when she came and got me, I moved to Meriden, Connecticut. Because of my age, I went straight to third grade, but I had never been in school. So it was very
though, because I don't even think that we even touched on that. Like, with you going from never being in school at all to where now you're being put into something that's structured. You're in school. Like, how was that? Or do you even remember?
I just remember, not knowing nothing. Like what was simple to them, to me, wasn't. Like I still have I'm still dyslexic with math. Like I still have my struggle areas. And that's why me being in college is so important, because I'm not just telling these kids, I'm showing them. And the journey has not been easy. This is not like, when I was a little girl, I knew I was gonna go to college. Like it was just none of that. Like this was just something I know I had to obtain to get to the levels that I'm trying to reach. I can have a good story and a good mouthpiece all day, but certain degrees will open doors that, just your life story won't. So I just feel like having those degrees, and it's never easy, right? Like school is still a struggle, but so I guess for me, like I knew like I was behind, right? Like I knew I was smart, but not book smart, and
you was more so street smart because you was all about surviving. You had to survive.
Right. So I just, like I said, school was always hard for me, and that's something that's just real. I don't like school even now. My professors be like, look, just pass the damn class. You can hire a paralegal. You can hire, someone to do legal writing. But at this point, they like, you just got to get the degree. Because there's someone.
Those of y'all that don't know, my girl, she is going to law school right now, okay?
Look. Pre-law major.
But again, she is working towards becoming an attorney, okay? And those are the steps that she say. This is what she's doing. So again, another kudos to you. Like
that's my dream, so that's like a personal dream. But like I said, I knew it was never gonna be easy. Where my grandmother came to get me, of course, like she understood the situation. And by my age, by default, like they couldn't put me, in first grade, or like I had to go to the grade. So she was like, let's just move to California. You and your sister will be together. And I think that we all thought like, you know, that was the rainbow at the end of the storm. We did not fucking know that that was like the beginning of war, you know? And when I went to California, my grandmother and my sister, you know, got kicked out of where we were staying, so I had to stay. The person told my grandmother if she tried to fight for me, I would end up in DCF in California. And that's something that my grandmother explained to me later on in life, that she didn't want to lose me on the West Coast. We're not from the West Coast, you know what I mean? We born and raised Hartford, Connecticut, Bowles Park. Like, you know, my grandma, my mom, my cousins, like that's where everybody was raised and from. So I can understand, you know, some fights you gotta bow out. And so from like 10 to 15, I lived in California. I kind of was moved around military. This particular family was military, Air Force. So, you know, I was moved around. We lived on base. And when I was 15, I ended up in Kansas City, Missouri. Shout out to KC in the building. Like, it was a real hard time for me. I think physically, I was being so much abused physically and verbally that by the time I got to Kansas, it just hit a different level. I can honestly say, like I said to you earlier, my gems, God gave me so many gems. I have so many friends in Kansas that I'm still friends with to this day. We're not even friends, we family. Like they taught me how to love. They protected me. Like my friends were the ones, like I remember like one time, because we lived in like an apartment complex. So, you know, like everybody that lived there, you know, we all rode the same bus. We went to the same school. And I remember I was smacked in the face outside in front of, I mean, multiple kids, football play. You know, you talk about being embarrassed. And I remember I tried to go in the house. You know, I was just smacked in front of these people and the door was locked. I wasn't allowed in the house. So I remember I sat on the porch crying, and one of my friends, I'm not going to say her name, but you already know who you are. Like, I remember her just coming on the porch and wrapping her arms around me and just crying with me. And I feel like in Kansas, we weren't friends, we were family. Like, I only can say that was God, right? Because it's like they taught me like blood is not family. You feel me? Motherfuckers who's solid, if they loyal, do they do the right thing? Do they have integrity? So Kansas City, Missouri let me know that, yeah, you going through war, but in any battle, right? You gonna get some good weapons, you gonna get some good armor. And I feel that was my friends. Like they protected me, they spoke life into me. I remember when I would be abused, I would try to run away to a friend's house, and you know, the parent would be like, well, I'm gonna reach out to that person, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back. Like I knew no matter, even if I reported it to the schools, which I would, I mean, they would, I'm fair, I'm light skinned. Caramel, light,
so the schools didn't do anything when you would go to the schools and tell them.
You missed the joke too, because I said, but you missed the joke. I said in my caramel light skin. Remember we was having this conversation. So you know, honey bun, light skin, okay? Honey bun. You're light skin. Okay? I feel like now that I'm older, right, and I understand what a mandated reporter is. The teachers did their job. They picked up the phone. They called the police. They called DCF. From, you know, that point, these DCF comes to the school. They take you to like a group home or like a center. I don't, you know, to this day, it's like, I don't even know what these places are, but I'm going to assume like that's where they take kids that have visible abuse and, you know, trying to investigate the situation. So multiple times I was sent to these places. Multiple times I can pull up my arms and legs and just show you I'm literally being abused. And I feel like that particular family knew how to work the system, right? So like they played on like, you know, she had a hard life. her parents died from AIDS, like very manipulative, very narcissistic, like, oh, she's a kid, because they do nowadays. DCF kids or group home kids are labeled. Oh, they're problematic. Oh, don't adopt them. Oh, wooty woo. And I get it. It is a liability. I call us damaged goods. Sometimes you don't know what you're getting.
I don't like that phrase though.
But I just feel like no one. True, but I just feel like no one in those situations rarely listen to the kids, which is why I wanted to get into law.
Yeah.
No one ever sits down with the kids, right? Like the kids tell you whatever, but you're gonna talk to the adults. You're gonna talk to the teachers. You're gonna talk, to these mandated reporters that's gonna kind of override with that child. Because most of these people have degrees, psych degrees. Right. They're like, well, you're right. She has been abused. She is from the streets. So it just painted a picture like I was lying. And I think once I realized no one was going to listen, at some point, like I faced what I thought was my reality, right? Like, fuck it, this is it. Like, I'm going to be fighting for the rest of my life. I'm going to be beaten, broken, battered. Like, clearly, this is why I'm here, to just be broken and beaten and not protected. And I feel like it was my friends in Kansas that was like, you gotta fight, and as the years went on, I probably was in Kansas for like 4 years. So the end of 8th grade, I'm a freshman. I'm with my friends. My friends saved me. I think I would have definitely tried to unalive myself had God not gave me these gems. And I mean, these gems was Black, white, Asian, Spanish. Like Kansas City, Missouri, to me embodied like, I got you. That's not a word. It's an action word. We talk, it's an action word. Yeah. So my friends in Kansas showed me like, I see you and I got you. And what was the breaking point was, unfortunately, one of my friends passed away. I came out of class. I was a freshman in high school and everybody was crying. It was like a movie. I'm like, why is everybody crying? People like, you don't know. And I'm not going to say her name out of respect for her mom. We are friends on social media, but they let me know she passed away. And that was the first time in my life that I was like, God, what's wrong with you? Like, she's a kid. She's 15. How could you let her die? She died of a blood clot. So for me, that I was done. Like, kids could die. Yeah. I mean, I know, adults do bad things to kids. I know adults do, but kids can innocently die. That shook me to the core. And
so do you feel like that shifted your thought process with life itself? That shifted your thought process?
That shifted. Either I was gonna get out of that situation or I was gonna tap out. And again, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. So suicide is not acceptable. God does not forgive that. Like, I was taught that Bible. I was going to door preaching about that Bible. So I understood that if I was going to stand on that, I had to stand on that in life and death. Because we always going to answer for it, But I was okay with that. And she was the first funeral I ever spoke at. Not my mom, not my dad. It was hers. It was like a 6 of us, we was her pallbearers. And once I gave, the speech to her, I remember going back home after the funeral and getting in trouble, almost like beaten, because I said something. When I gave a speech at her funeral, I said something that person felt I shouldn't have said. I actually left. What people don't know is I had wrote something to say, but I left it at home. So when I got up there, I'm freestyling. Once I got home and, I was basically being attacked, I was like, man, fuck this. Me and another person, we packed our things, we hugged each other, and we was like, we out. And I was on the run for weeks, for days.
So where were you going? Like, what was I don't know. Mind, like when you were going through.
Shout out to my friends. Like, they was literally hiding me in their closets. They was literally hiding me in their beds. I had friends who was sneaking their debit cards out their parents' purses because they had savings account. Like, I have friends, I ain't have nothing to my name. I have friends taking me shopping, buying me panties, socks. Like, I have friends sneaking food. I remember being in some of their rooms and their parents like, do you not understand how serious this is? You know, someone's gonna go to jail, and you know, no matter what their parents would threaten them with, they never folded, yo, like never. And that's the shit that I can cry happy tears, because I seen what being solid would get you.
Right.
I don't care.
See,
you could
now
do this
I
all
understand.
day.
No, now I understand why. Because since the day I met you, like, you've always spoken about Kansas City, Kansas City,
Yeah.
Kansas City. Like, now I get it. Like,
it's
now
so
I
different.
get it.
Like
it's a whole different dynamic.
Right.
And like I told you, like, we talked about this last week,
Right.
where these Connecticut bitches, they different. They different.
Baby, that's
but it's
gonna
like
be part 3, because baby, we don't talk about it. Because we gonna talk about it. I'm sick of this shit. You know? Let's use social media.
I get it, because it's a different level of
Right.
It's not even friendship, it's family. Like
Right.
you said,
Absolutely.
or gyms, like you like to call them. Like, it's different gyms that were placed in your life, and that's different shit.
And it wasn't like just the girls, it was guys. Like, it's guys that I'm still cool with. You feel me? Like, and I have to ask myself that sometimes too. Like, if I would have stayed in Kansas, how would my life have been? I know it would have been different, and maybe not even in a negative way, because I know I would have been married. I know I would have had a good man to take care of me, because that's how they're raised in Kansas. It's not tricking if you got it. Like, they're men's. I just feel like it's very family oriented from the core.
Right.
So everything I lacked, I got from my friends. And that's not even to say that they weren't going through shit, because they were. But them struggles and them pain bonds was connecting us. It will forever connect us. Some of them are successful attorneys, architects, they business owners. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, we got it back in blood. And I know that about all of them. I don't care how many accolades, how successful we get, when you are still connected to the people who saw you, to the people who saw me beaten, to the people who saw me crying like I can't, you get what I'm saying, to the people who really got it. And like I said, eventually, after me being on the run for a couple weeks, I did get caught. You know, the police did get involved. I'm a minor. Like, what you doing? And I ended up running away to the Jehovah's Witness house, because in my head, I'm like, everybody know church people, gotta keep it cute. So I'm gonna go to where I feel I would be safe. And that was the first time that I found out church people be with the shits too, because that lady jumped in front of me like, you ain't touching her. And I was like, Jehovah's Witnesses cuss? Like, you know, I never seen like that, you know. So to see somebody that, again, we have the similar beliefs, we were, you know, we're trained the same way, be like cussing and gangster with it, you know. And of course, like, the cops got involved, and the cops and that person who I was living with, we went back to the house. When we got back to the house, we had a few people from the Kingdom Hall, which is where Jehovah's Witnesses go to preach. And then the cops was there. And I remember just going up to the room, and I was like, fuck it. All right, God, I'm gonna have to unalive myself. So I went back. I was standing at the top of the stairs, and I was like, if y'all leave me with her, y'all will be back with a black body bag. And everybody was like, what? And I was like, if you leave me here tonight, I promise y'all will be coming back with a black body bag, because I'm not doing it. And the cops was like, do you got anywhere to go? And at this point, I hadn't spoke to my grandma and my sister in 5 years, man. I don't know. And I said, I got a grandma in Connecticut, and my friend's mom who passed away, she was actually my neighbor. So that's how I was locked in with her. We rode the bus. So she saw the highs, the lows, the pain, you know. And she was like, I will pay for her to get to Connecticut. So I stayed the night at her house in my friend's bed. So I got to sleep in my friend's bed in her room. And I felt like it was victory. Like, I wasn't even scared to be in her bed. Like, all I just remember, I remember smelling her, because she wore the Dream from the Gap. It's a purple. I have a bottle in my closet right now because of her. And just, I remember smelling her sheets and just saying, we did it. We did it. Like, I made it. And the next day, her mom woke up. She drove me to St. Louis. She gave me some money, a Dooney and Burke purse, which I did not notice at the time. So Miss H, if you watch this,
you got like, a Dooney and didn't even know
girl,
it.
like Miss H, if you watch this, you gave me my first designer. So shout out to you. Like, I've been that girl. But I hugged her, I kissed her, and I got on a flight, and I arrived in East Hartford, Connecticut, Sirocco 2000. And like I told you, up until the last decade, I never spoke to these people. I never seen my friends, and no one ever knew what happened. No one knew. They just knew I left, you know? So that's how I got to Connecticut. That's how I got to East Hartford High. That's how I got to my grandma, my sister, the rest of my cousins, my fam. Shout out to y'all. That's basically how I got to them. Was I was on a run and had to make shit shake. You feel me? So when they be like, "Oh, I'm a real like certified G." You feel me? Like in real life. But you know, like, and so that's why when me and you always converse, that's why I tell people coming to Connecticut was a whole new chapter, because no matter how much trials and tribulations I've been in through life, what nobody prepared me for was bitches that are haters, miserable, and angry. I didn't know that level. I wasn't raised to ever be I mean, my parents was crackheads. How I'm hating on anybody? You feel me? Like, I just wasn't raised that way. So I feel like next chapter of my life, like you said, now you're in Connecticut, you're in a safe environment. Yeah, but what, you know, with all the blessings, them casualties still gonna come. And like I told you, I had never been in a fight in my life. I had never, like, me and my friends in Kansas, we didn't fight each other. We was family. Family gonna argue. Y'all gonna get on each other's nerves. But to be physical, no, ma'am. None of us, none of my friends and shit, we was friends and we was young. So I ain't talking to you today, bitch. Fuck you tomorrow. Next week we squad. But we never went to the point of no return, you know, or we never like, we don't like her because we like it. Just
that's one thing I say in Connecticut, and not to throw shade on my hometown or whatever you want to call it, but it's a lot of bullying, mean girl type.
It is,
and then I never understood
girl,
why.
Me neither.
Like, I don't understand it, because I'm like,
why?
I'm not one to hate on nobody. Like, you know what says you doing good, I'm gonna congratulate you. Like, I'm not gonna hate you. Got long, pretty hair, you skinny, you pretty, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna hate on you. Like, I've never been a hater in my life, and I don't understand like where that whole persona comes from. Like, why
and I think
like this?
You know, like I told, still, even now at 39, I mean, I'm dealing with this shit. I work in the beauty industry in ATL. I still deal with it. Like I told you, I went home crying a few days ago because it's like, I will never understand a woman disliking you because of how you look or how you dress. Like, are you serious? It's enough money for all of us. It's enough shine for all of us. Bitch, if I look fly, you want the sauce, I got you. Y'all remember back in the day, I used to go live doing my makeup before black girls in Hartford, Connecticut was wearing makeup. I've been wearing makeup since 99.
I had real hard on that one.
I've been wearing makeup, but let's talk about that. Even me wearing makeup, I remember these same girls who wear makeup calling me a white girl. Remember we talked about this? I remember them same girls like, you wear makeup now, look at y'all, a mess. That's why I'm never gonna be humble. Don't say that word. Graceful all day. I was raised by a wonderful woman. Winnie, y'all know Miss Taylor. That's my girl. So humble, nah, I'm never them in my life. To make y'all feel better, wrong chick. But graceful all day. Because baby, I made it. You made it. We made it. Every day we wake up, God is good. Exactly. But what y'all knock on, what Connecticut taught me, you could be sweet and nice, but one day you got to just put your foot on a bitch neck and you're going to have to teach her not to play with you. And that's what Connecticut taught me for life. Because it ain't no bitch or nigga walking this earth that put fear right here, baby. Only him. Only him.
Absolutely.
So it is what it is. And I'll forever thank my city for that. But yeah, like the fighting shit, the hating shit.
That I hate is because it's like, why do you have to go through
crab in a bucket? We know
like, why is it that mentality? Like,
That's some shit that I will never understand. Like, why are we constantly competing with each other, trying to down somebody, trying to make somebody, like if we come together, like we could be so much stronger as a united front instead of sitting here trying to down the next person. Like, no, let's come together.
Crazy.
Like,
it's Connecticut.
That blows my mind.
No, but Connecticut has the most fucking talent. I don't live East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, down south. It is no place in the fucking world like Connecticut. We talking models, makeup artists, motherfucking producers, rappers, singers. Do you know fashion?
Yeah.
Connecticut is a 5-star. But you want to know why? When I go to fucking Atlanta and I say I'm from Connecticut and people say, well, where is that? And I have to say the tri-state is because Connecticut's not on the map. You want to know why Connecticut's not on the map? Crab in the bucket. Before I let you win, bitch, I'm gonna pull you down.
Yeah.
Before I help you win, bitch, I'm gonna pull you down. Before I give you the sauce, bitch, I'm gonna pull you down. Never knowing
that
all
part.
It took was one of us, one real nigga from CT to stamp us. The whole world gonna want to fuck with us. And I can say that because I ain't visit these places. A lot of people like to inbox me like, oh, I've been to Cali. I ain't visit Cali. I live there. Like, motherfucker, I live these places. Growing up, me and my sister and cousins, we was fucking 10, 11 years old taking vacations in Vegas. This shit ain't new to us. Like, you feel me? Been traveling, been well seasoned. So that's why I can say the things that I say. Connecticut has so much talent, but the hate, I've never.
It's on a whole different level.
Like that.
It's on a whole different level.
It's
let's be on the topic of Connecticut. When you came to Connecticut, right?
Right.
How was that transition from being going from place to place to place to place to where now there is some type of stability with your grandma that that's somebody that loves you. It's a whole different dynamic. How was that situation for you?
I definitely was a little fucking jerk to my grandma. Like, like my grandma definitely allowed me to have free reign. Shout out the Hillside, Burnside in the building. Like, I was outside, I was outside. I would be in Silver Lane Project. Shout out, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like my grandma allowed me so much freedom because in her head, it was like, all right, you done been through some shit. So you want to get out here and do some dumb shit, then you're going to suffer. I feel like my grandma always kept it real with me and sometimes maybe too real. And I also feel like we didn't understand each other. People understand, like, that's not my mom. That's my mom's mom. So that big generation gap, like, for example, like when I would get in stuff at East Hartford High, my grandma would come up to the school and be trying to preach. And I'm like, my girl, like you got them. They about to think that, you know what I mean? They're going to get me next week. Like, my grandma just always preach love and move from a Bible. And it used to upset me because it's like, girl,
why do you feel
because my grandma from Boas Park went to Weaver. Like, girl, what you talking about? But she
done flipped turned a new leaf.
Okay? And my grandma just never been that type of woman. She always been a classy, beautiful, fine, well-dressed, just well-spoken, well-traveled Black woman. And she didn't feel like fighting. Like, she was very much like that. Fighting, very much got her. Like, very, like, bougie. I remember her being like, why do you like to fight? Like, I'm a pretty one. Like, when I was your age, I wanted to sit pretty. And I'm like, nah, fuck all that pretty shit. Because what my grandmother didn't understand was, I'm going to always be me, right? Whether people like me, hate me, I respect it. I respect it because I ain't for everybody. However, respect is everything to me, especially after the battle. Motherfucker, I done been through World War One, two, three, and 4. And you think that you about to stun me or try to... Nah, so like I tell people,
feel like everything that you went through in your past prior to you coming to Connecticut, do you feel like that made you hot-tempered where
I feel like no.
You was quick to go off on like this, what?
No, I feel like when I came to Connecticut, East Hartford High, we talked about this. Everybody was calling me a little white girl because everybody said I talk, and I would just remember people, the same core girls, it's a few, y'all know who y'all are. Like, I still fuck with y'all. I feel like, through its time, bitches really saw that I was cool, but we just had our 20-year reunion last year, and bitches still salty, bitches still ugly, bitches still miserable. So I could see like
we walked in here like Ahslei,
no, but I could see, you feel me? Like I could see, like if it was 20 years ago, for me to go to my high school reunion last year, solidified, bitches is miserable, and it's way too much money, too many opportunities. Like that's why I had to leave CT. No shade, home is where the heart is. My grandma there, a lot of people I love is there. But for me to like really locate, nah, because anytime I come back home, I'm reminded motherfuckers are still in the same square. And you mad at me. I come to Connecticut, hey, motherfuckers, like, girl, what are you mad about? I don't even live in town because before I left Connecticut, I was living in Bridgeport for 8 years. So it's like, no one throughout my 20s or 30s from East Hartford or Hartford could ever say they had an issue with me. I wasn't even.
You wasn't around.
My ex is from Stanford. The nigga be from before him from Morehouse. Like he living like so. It ain't no woman that could come on any socials and say I was dealing with her dude or you know what I mean. I was like it's none of that, sis. So once I did process of elimination, I'm not messing with y'all niggas. I'm not messing with y'all finances. I'm not messing with y'all kids. I'm not feeding y'all. It's a no for all check boxes. That let me know that it's not me, it's you. And as I got older, I've learned that women love to project. I have to tell a lot of grown women, baby, that's your issue, not mine. Like
some self-healing that you need to do with yourself.
Yeah, like I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't a therapist, I ain't God. You gotta ask him for forgiveness or you gotta go talk to somebody. I'm not her. Just like every day I'm still in a war because the biggest battle of my life is here. Fuck physical. Bitch, that's easy.
Right.
Bitch, come on. But here, this is a battle that is
that's a whole different fight.
Yeah, because it's real life. So seasonal depression is real. Depression is real. Being bipolar is real. Having anxiety is real. And I don't care how pretty a girl look, how perfect a relationship, we all going through it.
Yeah, like, that's a fact. That's definitely
what filter they use, baby. We all going through it.
That's definitely a fact. And I would never, ever, ever, ever like sway my words with this. Like it's hard. Like it really is hard, especially when you know that you have a genuine heart.
Right.
You're genuine to people. And it's like instead of receiving that genuinity, not even word, instead of you receiving it back, it's like it's that whole negative aspect, like, but why? Like you said, that whole crab in the bucket mentality.
Right.
You know? Like that's the shit that I will never understand. But it's like with you speaking of like everything that you went through with the adjustment phase that you had to go through with coming to Connecticut, and hats off to your grandmother, because I remember, I know Ahslei in high school, like she the G right there. Like I remember Ahslei in high school. So
man, shout out to my cousin.
I
like
take my hat off to her and I commend her, because not at no point, and again, I don't know the in-depth insight of your relationship, but she always lets you be you. You know, despite your relationship, and again, because you were going through that transition phase, she still lets you be you. She still lets you be Ahslei.
But you know why she let me be me? Because I ain't name dropping, but I'm about to fucking name drop. Shout out to my cousin, sister Tara. Like, my cousin is the one who kept me fly, kept me and my grandma at odds. I was always at my cousin's house. That's why I was in Silver Lane. She lived there, you know? So I feel like she played, that's why I say she my sister, ma. Because like she my sister, but she helped my grandma raise me. When people give me kudos, it ain't just to my grandma, it's to Tara. Because Tara was like, come let me holler at you. We ain't doing no whole shit. Let me tell you why. Tara was like, yeah, he cute, but I don't want you fucking with him. Like, my cousin always had a hand in a lot of decisions because I respected her opinion. And when I can know your intent and I know your heart, it's easy for you to kind of be able to, you know what I mean, give me advice and me listen. But that's why I tell you, everybody can't tell me no shit and I'm gonna run with it. Motherfucker, I'm gonna do research. I'm gonna go to somebody else. Like, that's what's wrong with the world. We have the world at our fingertips, but when someone hears something being good, motherfuckers are run with it. That's why my sister always be like, you could start a cult. Because motherfucker, all it takes is you dropping jewels, niggas like, you know what? You right, bitch. How I sign up? That's how I started.
Right.
So, like I tell people, find knowledge for self.
Yeah.
That's why I am. I love to read. I got a book right here. I'm looking at the laws of human nature. Like, that's who helped me become a better woman, understanding, taking psychology classes. I'm like, oh shit, really I ain't crazy.
How the human mind, how that
right, because then you really realize
like,
what I'm doing is normal. Me being angry is normal. Why the fuck are you angry? I was not, it had me looking at people like, oh, okay. Because I know no one's life is perfect, but people really grew up with a lot, especially when you compare it to people who grew up with nothing. So it's hard for me to, we live in a time where people like to be like, well, I went through this and this is, I mean, if you want to do better, you're going to do better. Everybody don't want to do better. So if you feel whatever you've been through is an excuse for you to keep doing what you're doing, to keep doing it. But me personally,
but I feel like that's where the stigma needs to stop, because, and we talked about this last week, like, yes, we all done been through some shit, but I feel like a lot of people, and I could say that I'm guilty of it in some extent as well, like using that as an excuse as to shit that I might do now. And it's like, at what point do you say, like, no, like, I ain't gonna say get over it, but it's like, you can't let your past or your previous circumstances define you and the shit that you do. Like,
but I feel like it's
some real shit.
No, and it is real shit, but that also goes back. And to me, I feel like the older I get and the more healing I get, I like to be a little more devil's advocate. That goes back to nurture versus nature.
Right.
If a boy see his mom getting her ass whooped, one gonna grow up, never touch his woman, the other gonna beat her ass. They both right. So for me, that's where we gotta stop. I don't want to say playing God, but that's why I tell people, hey, baby, if you love it, I like it, because you got the answer.
Well,
everything I do. God forbid, I could go see my dad today. I could stand on it. I could stand, because I've been a solid woman. That's why I tell people, you ain't got the answer to me. God said, what you reap, you shall sow. So, baby, you gonna have to explain it to somebody. And all my abusers never got a name drop, never got a none of that. Because, again, like I tell people, y'all better pray, God have mercy. I ain't him. I ain't got it. I ain't got it on me. I ain't got no mercy. Forget, like, you got to take that up with him, right? So I also just feel like I learned to judge less, because I also know everybody ain't gonna be the exception to the rule. I'm the exception to the rule. I am a crack baby who grew up. I ain't never dealt with a doughboy, a drug dealer. I ain't never fucking did crack. I ain't never been a prostitute. I ain't never used what I got to get to what I want. Hence what Facebook like to debate me about. But I've always been a woman who could, God bless the woman who have her own. I've always had my own. When I went and got my license, I paid for driving school. When I wanted to go out of the country, I paid for myself to go on a cruise. Like, nigga, everything I got, I work for. So yeah, people do gotta talk differently to me. And I feel like up north, people just feel I am who I am, take it or leave it. Nah, that mentality is why the fuck y'all miserable. You are who you are, but you lonely. You ain't got no friends. You ain't got a nigga. Like, people have to understand what you put out is what you always gonna get back. Like I said, and being genuine, right? Because whether people from Atlanta, Connecticut, Kansas, I'm genuinely me everywhere I go. So that's the beauty of Beautiful Rage. Yeah, actually, like, nigga, this me. This me how I talk to you. This me how I talk to my kids. This me how I talk to my grandma. Like, this me how I give a speech. This me how I'm at work. Like, nigga, they no on and off switch. And that comes from looking in this mirror and getting to know me. You feel me? That didn't come from a man.
Talk what I'm telling you. Sitting there really having that conversation with yourself, looking at yourself in that mirror. Like, that takes a lot. And that's some real shit right there. Because, again, it's like you're talking to you. Can't nobody else talk to you. You talking and you listening. So, can't nobody else. What can anybody else do? Like, like, this is some real shit.
Right.
Like, what I do want to understand, like, when it comes to you and your circumstance.
Right.
How do you feel, like, with everything that you've gone through, from your childhood, the things that you've seen, the things that you dealt with, the obstacles that you had to go through,
to your teenage years to where you was moving from house to house and dealing with just so much variety. I don't even call it bullshit because I feel like they were learning lessons.
Shit, it was bullshit. Fuck all that.
Listen,
I ain't
you
even
was
go
dealing with
through none of that.
No, because these shits taught you and molded you
Girl.
into you are now. So dealing with those learning lessons, to where coming to Connecticut and dealing with the bullshit of Connecticut,
right.
So, and even your adult life, like I don't know what your relationships involved of, or how those took place, but dealing with relationships, and then even you moving to Atlanta, and even to you now being in your career and you going to law school, like I don't even think you understand like how big of a deal that is. Like, but
girl,
like
that shit, man. All my life I had to fight.
Like, how do you feel like
everything
that you've gone through? How has that molded Ahslei? Like, you see yourself you deal with things differently, or you handle things differently because of all those past situations that you've had to go through?
I just feel like, so no shade, no tea. Because if my grandma, if you know what I mean, one of your grandkids see you this video, respectfully, grandma, you know I've been a real nigga my whole life. My sister right here. I just feel like I'm being able to face reality where people would be like, well, that's being negative. No, being a realist is what saved me. So I think just really never losing me. Like, I'm always gonna be me, funny, silly, laughing at some shit. And I think, again, like you talk about relationships, when I had a baby, my daughter was born with hydrocephalus. Every chapter that was supposed to be special, it was a struggle. My friends getting pregnant with their firstborn, I'm going to the doctors 3 to 4 times a week because my baby got holes in her brain. So I think once I got over being angry for real, which was in my 20s, I ended up getting married young in my 20s. I think once I really stopped being angry, I left East Hartford and moved to Bridgeport. I feel like life was lifing for most of us around that time, being married, being in relationships, trying to be a wife, trying to be a mom. I think I started losing myself through everything, right? So where I'm at now, going to school, chasing, my condom dream, beautiful rage,
absolutely
gonna be in Target and Walmart one day. I feel like what I've learned,
day, it will be.
Facts. I feel like what I've learned is to keep going, right? Like, yeah, we all have a story, but some of us got a little more sprinkle. And I think once I changed my perspective, instead of feeling like, why me, or I'm cursed, why not me? You feel me? I feel like,
I love that.
I knew that God knew.
Why not me?
Why not me? Because most of my peers are 80s babies. Their parents was drug addicts. Their parents had AIDS, HIV, but a lot of them not going to share that testimony.
Right.
So God knew, baby, these ain't my tragedies. What I got to be embarrassed for? I never, you feel me? I wasn't fucking on little kids. I ain't never abused no kids. I ain't never, you feel me? So why would I be ashamed to carry this testimony? Shit, I was dealt fucked up cars. I didn't choose fucked up cars. Remember, we talked, that's important to me. Because a lot of people like to say we all got a story. No, it's some of us that didn't have a choice. We ain't write nothing, no chapter. It was just thrown to us and we had to play that hand. So understand, when y'all talking to the youth or y'all talking to your kids, y'all are writing their story. Y'all better start healing. Y'all better start getting together, because just like y'all feel y'all moms and dads, guess what's gonna happen? One day our kids gonna be like, let me holler at you.
Right.
And that's why I extend grace, because there's no blueprint to being a parent. So I don't fault my parents. God rest their soul. I wish they could be here. God gave me an amazing grandma. That ain't my fucking grandma. That's my mother, my father, my brother, my sister. That's my everything. I love her. I wish that I could go back in time when I was disrespectful. Oh man, Lord, no. Baby, I done said some things that my mama need to whoop my ass for talking to my grandma like that. But you know,
and not to make any excuse or to justify it, but it's like you said, you were angry.
Yeah, my grandma was angry. Like
you were going through a lot. Like you were dealing with more than the average adult, and you were a kid dealing with So like, I need you to give yourself some.
And I was just about to say that. That's why me and my grandma are really close, because like I always tell her we went through, both of us had hard lives, just at different spectrums. Like she buried 2 kids. I lost my parents. She went through, you know, what she went through out of 7 kids. My grandma been through a lot. So it's like, I think, like I said, once I realized, like, damn, she would always say, like, you young, but mentally you've been through some shit, you know? And I just feel like my grandma never, like, tried to minimize my pain or my struggles, or like, I just feel like she never not fucked with me, if that makes sense. Like, it's a lot of things I've done, and I just feel like she never gave up on me. But taking it a step further, like, that's my baby daddy to Imani. That's her great granddaughter. Like, she 10 toes down. She went to every doctor's appointment. She let me live back home with her, even though I had, you know, moved out. Even with Callie, I moved back home with her. She cooked for me. So for me, I've had a lot of bad people in my life. Like I told you, I told my brother, I'm never going to sit on none of these platforms and badmouth my grandma. Now, y'all want to talk about other family members? We could talk about them because, yeah, some shit. Like, right. But my grandma,
goes down.
9 out of 10. And fuck what they say, is what they do. Her actions show me. And like I tell people, me and my grandma ain't been through nothing that moms and daughters don't go through. We ain't no different. I'm her daughter. That's my mom. So you feel me? And I don't feel like anything she ever taught me was wrong. Everything my grandma say, when she was saying that ain't your friend, bitches ain't my friends. When she was saying that man ain't no good, that man wasn't no good. So I just feel like once I started really tapping into her, like, she only trying to make me better. And then I really sat after, you know, being married for 12 years, I got to fall in love with me again. So it was like, what do you want to do? What do you want to wear? Where do you want to go? You feel me? And I fell in love with me, and I made a vow. I don't give a fuck how many kids we have, how many marriages or relationships we have. At the end of the day, we are born Black women. And before I'm anything, I'm a woman. So the woman that I see in the mirror, she gonna always come first. Because like I tell everybody, if I ain't good, y'all ain't gonna be good. And I stand on that. So I just learned to fall in love. Yeah. And law is my personal dream, which is why I don't really talk about it, because people love to talk about shit they don't know. How many people know an attorney? So when it comes to my education and stuff like that, outside of the youth, when I talk to adults, sometimes with adults, unfortunately, you got to hide, you know what I mean, with you, because these people be so haterish and so just in a box with they thinking. People do talk people out of a lot of their dreams. Doubt, fear. So I don't even, like, the people could know, y'all gonna see me at the top. That's it. Like,
listen, I would never, if anything, listen, my girl Ashley, she doing it. She doing a damn thing. And she gonna be a lawyer. I don't care what nobody. All right. And the fact that you're still going, you're still motivated to like that, that's all that is to it. Like, that's all that is to it. And I said, I told you this last live. I told you this every day that we spoken this week. Like, I'm proud of you. Like, I'm so
thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Proud of you.
Come on,
like,
now.
I really
Big boss,
am. Like,
not
you
the little
really
one.
doing it.
Big boss, not the little one. Come on.
Hey,
you already know.
No, you're really doing it. And
trying.
I'm definitely proud of you, because you've gone through some obstacles in your life, gone through some shit. And you ain't become a statistic.
No.
Like, not at all. Like, statistic ain't even in your vocabulary.
No.
Who that?
And I feel like I never folded. So that's why, you know what I mean? People say it's like a cocky swagger. Yeah, it is.
And you got all right to be cocky, because bitch, you done been through a lot.
Like,
you've been through a lot. So when it comes to being cocky, like, you got all right to be cocky, because you've gone through so much.
You know,
and I'm not trying to minimize anybody.
No, because you know me in real life. So it's
I've been through a lot. But again, you've been through a lot. So you got all right to be fucking cocky. Bitch, be cocky.
Bitch, you know I be cocky. like that's, I'm her. Like, and you, like I tell you all the time, you know how I am in real life. Don't get me, because these people gonna be like, oh. But that's what I want to say to women. before we, get off this live, we got a few things, you know what I mean? But I just want to tell women, be your biggest fan and fall in love with yourself. No. You don't need a man or a woman to tell you that. When I look in the mirror, I feel sexy for me. When I put that shit on, I do it for me. When I buy makeup, it's for me. Fall in love with you. Yeah. Don't do it for the work or for the man or for the woman. If I promise you, that is the secret. That's falling in love with you.
I feel like sometimes us as women, we get lost in that, and we need to find ourselves. Right. So again, like it's fact, like fuck everybody else. You're not doing nothing for nobody else. You're doing it.
Right. And take care of yourself. Yes. Right.
All right. So let me ask you this. So what is going on with Ahslei today? We know that you're in law school, and I know that we had a brief conversation with you reconnecting with some relationships with family members and stuff like how is that whole experience?
Okay. So recently, I'm 39. For 39 years, I never knew who Ahslei Foster was. So up until like 3 weeks ago, I didn't know anything about my dad's side. But I wrote on a forum in Springfield, Massachusetts. Shout out to Springfield. And like within 3 hours, these people had got me my dad's obituary. Come to find out, the name on my birth certificate is not the last name that he. So this whole time, I didn't even have the correct information. But to make a long story short, like, I got a few more siblings. I got a dope ass older brother. Like, shout out to Q. You feel me? Nothing but bad love. Like, it's just, I'm so happy. He's such a beautiful reflection of me. Like, we finish each other's sentences. If you would hear our conversations, you would not know we just met. Like, he is genuine. He's authentic. He's an educator. 22 years. He's a Marine. Like, he's just someone who inspires me, and not just with life, my academic career. Like, even yesterday we was talking about it because, some issues going on in my class, and feel me, he was checking it. Like, but did you? And I like that. That's what I'm saying. People could check me. I gotta know your heart. If I don't know your heart, you gotta watch who you talking to respectfully. Like, absolutely. But I'm excited. I'm coming to Connecticut in a couple of weeks, so we're gonna meet face to face. I'm gonna get some pictures of my dad. I might meet some other family members. Me and my brother going out for New Year's, so y'all already know
I love that shit
on. But I don't know. I just feel like it's like the happy ending, but I feel like it's gonna be even grander. Like, this is the tip. Like, my whole life people have been like, you remind me of Job in the Bible. And when I was younger, I would be mad. Like, I don't want to be like Job. Job lost his kids. Damn, can I be somebody else? But for a certain moment, I'm like Job. And faith of a mustard seed. I never wavered on my dad. I never questioned. I stayed fast. I stayed prayed up. And I just feel like every blessing that's coming to me, I hope everybody who watches this video, watches us, understand I deserve this shit. So if you gonna hate, you know what I mean? You gotta take that shit down to Avon Street, because I deserve this shit. And like I tell my brother, I deserve him. And yes, I have other siblings. At the moment, respectfully, they not ready to build with me. And hey,
and that's
don't
okay.
say no tea. I respect it, but I'm already knowing y'all gonna want to spin the block because she's a vibe. But
that's okay. If they're not ready right now, then
no pressure.
Whenever they are, if you're ready for it, if you're open up with it,
because tables turn.
Open that door. Let them have a seat at the table, but that's now the ball is in your court. Because you extended that arm branch, you reached out, you made your attempt, and if they're not willing for it, then that's okay. It's okay. Like, that's something that I want you to understand. Like, it's okay.
No. I understand that, because this ain't my first rodeo. Like I told you, I found my mom's dad 6-7 years ago, so I already had I already was faced with reality, in the sense of, just because I'm finding these people does not mean, they're going to want a relationship with me. Like, they feel, especially when I come to people that I found and I'm like, well, when I was going through this, where the fuck was you at? Because you was down the street. Like, I'm entitled to ask that. And unfortunately, in our community, that's called healing and trauma bonds. No one wants to acknowledge the shit they did. right? No one wants to talk about the uncles touching the kids or the boyfriend. No one wants to talk about the kid the daddy had that was a side chick. But it's a lot of family traumas, and unfortunately, I'm never gonna connect with anyone and just sweep that shit under the rug. I got questions. I want fucking answers. Like, stand on what you did or didn't do. That's the point of life. If you feel you can't have a woman to woman or adult conversation, you're my blood family, and you feel offended or you feel I'm being disrespectful, and I'm asking genuine questions. When I was 9 years old living in a crack house when your house was 10 minutes down the street. Why you never came to get me? How you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Or are you mad at yourself? See, that's what I'm saying. Projection. You're mad at you. So like I said, when I found out I had these siblings, literally, hands to God, everybody outside of Lindsay got a choice. Lindsay, when you see this video one day, baby girl, because I am gonna find you. I am gonna find you. This is my little sister. We have the same mom, the same dad, and Lindsay. You don't have a choice. When I find you, I'm gonna love on you. I'm gonna kidnap you, and you're gonna be locked with me and Winnie for a long time. Everybody else,
I'm praying for that for y'all.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I know it is. And like I said, anybody outside of Lindsay, I respect. You feel me? Like my thing with this, everybody don't know where I'm going. I know where I'm going, and I know I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. And when people don't want to fuck with the kid, I just look at it as one less mouth to feed at the table. So we ain't mad.
You're lost. Okay? You're lost.
Because you feel me? It ain't for everybody. But like I said, finding my brother, we have so much planned, so much we need to make up for. I am the spoiled little whiny sister already be getting on his nerves. Yeah,
you're entitled to be that. Okay?
Right. And I'm gonna be that. So, you know, it's just sky's the limits. I feel like we got some shit. I got some shit working in the works for 2025. You know, graduation. My nigga, is that you? Like, you know, so I'm just looking forward to the new year. The new blessings about to come our way. And like, you know, they say if you don't say it on social media, it ain't real. So this is proof. We already said we going to the moon. You feel me? We rocket, take off. So you feel me?
Before we even wrap up this segment and before we even conclude, because I just want to say I appreciate you taking the time to share your story because
hey, stop thanking me.
Listen, it definitely takes a lot of courage because a lot of people can't live in their truth, and a lot of people don't take the time to really look in that damn mirror. It's really hard to do that self-reflection and look in that mirror and, you know, talk about your shit, own some shit, like, you know, so it definitely is a lot. So even in that whole token, I just want to say that I appreciate you taking the time.
Sis.
I appreciate you taking the time to share your story, to be a part of this platform. And with that being said, I just want to let the audience know that she's not just a guest. You know, she ain't just a guest. This my co-host, whatever you want to call it. Yes, run it up. Yes, so, you know, she's not just a guest. So going forward, it's going to be Patrice and Ahslei hosting Mirror Talk, you know? So again, I appreciate all of you guys, all of y'all tuning in. I appreciate all of y'all, even though we have some technical difficulties earlier, we apologize about that. We gonna get it together, but it's so much more to come.
Stay tuned, y'all.
This is next level. So again, you're not just a guest. You a co-host. You a host. Okay, so
they gotta talk to me when I go to work tomorrow. I'm gonna tell them, like, you feel me? Y'all gotta talk to me differently in Atlanta. I ain't just Ahslei. You feel me? I got my own podcast. We taking off, and like I told you too. You know, the one thing about Atlanta, I wish people Connecticut would know. It's so many opportunities. Patrice, you know, Lil Scrappy was at my job. You know, Tiny, I told you, Chili. Atlanta is the world of opportunities. If you have a business and like I'm plugged in with you, plug us back in because we all about our people, about the community. If you want to collab with us, whether you in Connecticut, Atlanta, like let's run it up because I'm telling you.
Let's do it.
Easy, baby. Right.
Again,
All right,
I tell you, hearts.
Heart.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta work on some music too, because we might need a dance.
Listen, you got your homework, sis. Come on.
Girls, don't give me the because the people know I stay with a little, one too. Feel me? Like, do I need to find a beat, or we ain't gonna do it right now?
No,
we gonna say that. I mean, shoot, if I would have had a beat,
we got it for next week.
Yeah, because it's never nothing. And then if somebody want to battle, you could come on live. We don't do no written shit. You know what I mean? Straight off the dome.
Go.
If you ain't talking about nothing, don't say nothing.
Let's do it.
Me?
I love this girl, y'all.
Nah, for real.
Real shit.
I love you though. I love you. I appreciate
and I hope
you.
that Ahsley's story was somewhat enlightening to all you guys that have been listening. You know, like I've always been saying, each one teach one.
Right.
You know, like it might not be your story, but you could take something from it. It's like those little gems that you could take from, you could learn from. So again, this is what we're going to continue to do on Mirror Talk, is really giving those guests the opportunity to really hold their mirror, to, really do that self-reflection, to really talk about some shit that they've really been through in their life. So it's so much more to come with Mirror Talk, Beautiful Rage, Certified R&B. It's so much more to come, and I just can't wait for you guys to see like what's to come with all these friends and these collabs that we got going on in the works.
And let me say this before we get off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, stop being mean to people, y'all. God, like, we all dealing with a battle.
Yes.
You feel me? We all going through something.
Yes.
Talk about to be in office. Y'all better hide your kids, hide your dad. Like, bro, we got stop it. Cut it out. Stop being mean. Yeah. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, shut up. I'm sick of it. Like, just be nice, move with love.
That mean girl mentality gotta go out the fucking window. Like, again, like, help one. Like, let's do it.
Be nice, please.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. Stop being a mean girl. All right, sis.
In the bucket. But all right. Like I said, love you lots. And y'all stay tuned.
Thank you,
y'all. Coming next week. We got so much more to come. So
we got some surprises too. We got some stuff for y'all.
When I tell y'all it's so much more to come, like let's like you said, let's run it up.
Because we not no regular. Y'all gotta talk to us, you know what I mean, a little differently. So see y'all next week.
Bye,
y'all.
Bye.